Tonight on News 5 Live, booster shots coming on stream. Find out who is eligible now and who will be included later. Government delegation heads to COP26, but PSU wants to find out how much it is all costing. Details of these stories and more coming up in tonight's newscast.
Imagine going through your entire day without the burden and risk of carrying cash on you. Belize's shift to digital wallets has begun with eCash. We can now skip the cash when collecting money or paying for our essentials, all while using a fast, easy, and secure platform. Simply add funds to your wallet via bank transfer or at an agent, and you're good to go. You will be able to make quick, easy payments simply by scanning QR codes. And best of all, it all happens just like that. Payments are as easy as clicking a link online or scanning a QR code. Download the eCash app from the Google Play and Apple App Store today and take your first step into a cashless lifestyle. The future is here with eCash. For more information, visit www.e-cash.com or contact us via WhatsApp at 613-0257 to find out more.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Bundle the fastest, most reliable, unlimited broadband in Belize with your prepaid or postpaid mobile plan or Netflix. You can bundle your broadband with your prepaid and enjoy 50% off all national calls, plus get SMS and data. Paid plans? Then bundle with any speed and pay only $25 extra monthly to enjoy unlimited smart-to-smart calls, plus 500 minutes, plus 6,300 megabytes of data. Stream unlimited HD movies and TV shows with our broadband, plus the Netflix add-on for only $30 monthly, and enjoy streaming on your laptop, TV, phone, or tablet. Visit a smart showroom near you to sign up or upgrade to the bundle that's right for you. Smart, bringing people together.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, October 29th. I am Sabrina Daly. While the COVID numbers have been on what seems to be an everlasting upward trend, the numbers have begun to show a downturn in the Belize district. This is significant because Belize City is one of the areas where the Delta variant was spreading rampantly. But Deputy Regional Manager for the Central Health Region, Dr. Melissa Musa, told News 5 today that hospitalizations for COVID patients at the only public referral hospital, the Carl Huchner Memorial, may not begin to show an immediate decline. She urges the public to continue being cautious heading into November.
For the Belize district, we have seen that we have reached our peak and now we are going down, not only with respect to the total number of positive cases, but also we have a large number of recoveries as well. If to give you some information, in early October, the 7th of October, we had in the Belize district 1,118 active cases. And today, up to yesterday evening, we had 710 for the entire district and 592 excluding San Pedro. So the number has definitely improved significantly.
What about ICU admissions, so forth, ventilations?
Well, many times after an outbreak, you will continue to see hospital admissions, especially with COVID and especially with the Delta variant. We know that a lot of times people get very ill in the second week or in the latter phase of the illness. So we will continue to see admissions, but and it fluctuates. Over the last 2 or 3 days, yes, the numbers have gone down slightly, talking just about Karl Kirchner and in some of the regional hospitals as well. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that is the trend.
Last night, we told you about Cabinet's approval for booster shots. Currently, these are being made available for persons 60 years and older, persons with comorbidities, and healthcare workers. A booster shot is basically a third shot of COVID-19 vaccine taken 5 months after taking the first 2 doses of vaccine. And soon enough, the Ministry of Health and Wellness will be recommending that the entire vaccinated population take the booster shot. Today, we spoke to Dr. Natalia Baer at the ministry.
The booster doses, we were looking at it for a couple of months, and we haven't completed the homework, but so far we know that the administration of the booster doses will definitely help to improve the protection of persons who have received vaccines. And the reasons why is because there is evidence that there is a reduced protection among certain population against mild and moderate diseases, that there is great infectiousness, especially those who are affected by Delta variant. So that is the 2 main reasons that why we need to get a booster dose. You know that healthcare workers, for example, are at greater risk of being exposed to the virus because they provide care to persons who get ill, where we know the majority are unvaccinated persons that are reaching to our hospitals. So we have seen that there are small outbreaks or cluster of cases among healthcare workers. And so healthcare workers is top of the list again to receive booster dose.
Belize is not the only country recommending booster shots for its citizens. Countries in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, Africa, and North America are administering booster shots among their most vulnerable populations, including those who are 60 years and older. Deaths among vaccinated persons are the highest among 60 to 80-year-old populations.
This will be done in phases. So the first phase is for healthcare workers, for persons 60 years and older, and for persons with comorbidities. It has been in discussion for a good while, and it seems that we use data, to make decisions, and it is coming to a consensus that it is needed to give a booster dose. Before we were saying we don't know if there would be a need for a booster dose, but right now it's not only Belize, many countries are already starting to administer booster doses.
Is the need for a booster shot directly connected to the emergence of stronger variants or new variants that are potentially more dangerous?
I think we addressed a question like this earlier, that the vaccines may not be altogether comparable, because for them to be comparable, they would have to have the same study protocol, be studied in the same population, be studied in the same time period, and we know that all of them are different, no? So in that case, we can't generalize. So AstraZeneca, for example, was developed when there was a large number of cases in the US. but other vaccines were developed before those large number of cases. So there is a lot of criteria that one needs to consider when having this type of discussion. But I think the bottom line is that we are looking at the data internationally, we are looking at our local data, and we are making decisions. And at the center, we have the people of Belize.
Currently, booster shots are being recommended for persons who have taken 2 doses of the AstraZeneca and Pfizer vaccines. We also asked Dr. Baer about the studies behind mixing and matching vaccines for the booster shot. Both the CDC and the FDA have reportedly given the green light for mixing and matching. It is an approach that our local authorities are suggesting is safe.
There is several research papers out there already published that there is no greater risk combining vaccines. And let me use as an example the vaccines that we are recommending for pregnant women. The COVID-19 vaccines are safe during pregnancy, and we started out with the recommendation based on benefit analysis, risk-benefit analysis for the pregnant women. So it's not that it's contraindicated in pregnant women to use COVID-19 vaccines, but with the evidence or the growing evidence of the COVID-19 vaccine administered to pregnant women or to women who later on or shortly after got pregnant, there is no alert that it is causing harm to pregnant women or to the babies. No? So the vaccines is safe, and the majority of data available right now on COVID-19 vaccine use in pregnancy is data coming from the Pfizer vaccine. So that is why we are recommending Pfizer. But if a woman started with AstraZeneca and then got pregnant and she wants her second dose to be AstraZeneca and not Pfizer, we will offer Pfizer. But if she say she wants to get AstraZeneca, well then we will just honor that request. But combining vaccines, we are combining at this moment based on the data that is available.
Again, booster shots are available for healthcare workers, persons with comorbidities, and anyone above the age of 60 at any one of the vaccine centers across the country, but other groups will be phased in. Coming up, fake vaccination cards continue to show up. Details when we return.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says the 4 and 20 elders fall down before him that sat on the throne and worship him that liveth forever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power. Did you know that salvation is a free gift of God? But there are 5 crowns that God promises to give for faithful service to him. In today's scripture, we see 24 of God's elders bowing and casting their crowns before his throne. If the Lord should come today, what would you have in your hands to cast before his throne? As a teenager, we used to sing, Must I go in empty-handed? Must I meet my Savior so? Not one soul with which to greet him. Must I empty-handed go? Oh, friends, before God puts things in our hands, so often he has to remove others. Martha Nicholson said it best, One by one he took them from me, all the things I valued most. Until I was empty-handed, every glittering toy was lost. And I walked earth's highways grieving in my rags and poverty, till I heard his voice inviting, Lift your empty hands to me. So I held my hands toward heaven, and he filled them with a store of his own transcendent riches till they could contain no more. And at last I comprehended with my stupid mind and dull that God could not pour his riches into empty handeds already full. What's in your hands that prevents them from being filled with God's riches? Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Iris Belize is here. No need to visit the Belize Tax Service and stand in long lines. Easily register your business today by visiting www.irisbelize.bts.gov.bz. When registered, Iris Belize allows you to prepare and pay for your tax services all from your fingertips, using your preferred bank, from your office or home. You will be supported with clear communication and prompt response time with a secure system you can trust. Our first 40 registering companies gets a gift for your commitment in being an early user. Iris Belize, effortless, easy and efficient electronic tax services for everyone.
So I'm gonna wonder if by chance I could get your number. Digit. Nice.
Of course, you have digital, right?
Yeah, of course.
The truth is, your credit lasts way longer with Digi. Like if you top up with like $30, that could last you 90 days. With the other guys, that must save 60. Then with the other guys, you have to use all of your good prime credit before you even touch your bonus credit. But with Digi, you could use your bonus credit before you even touch your prime credit. Like, what are the point to have free credit if you can't use it how you want? So, what are your number?
Just give me one moment.
The truth is, only Digi offers nationwide LTE coverage, fastest mobile data speeds, and the best call quality.
Trimming the hedges and overgrown trees, packing food supplies, ensuring that you have medical supplies and important documents are all part of your hurricane preparations. But what about your home insurance? An insurance policy with RFNG Insurance gives you the confidence that your home and possessions are protected when a natural disaster strikes. Include RFNG in your hurricane plans and join the thousands of Belizeans who have learned why it pays to get it right. RFNG Insurance is a Roku company.
Two cyclists lost their lives in traffic accidents on Thursday evening. As we reported on last night's newscast, an elderly man was knocked down by a passenger van in Silkgrass Village. Today, police issued official details saying that the RTA occurred between miles 7 and 8 on the Southern Highway. The body of 81-year-old Dimencio Cruz was discovered in the middle of the highway. Officers also observed an F-350 Econoline van on the side of the road with damages. The driver of the van, Francisco Raimundo, told police that Cruz was riding a bicycle on the side of the road and attempted to cross the highway. That's when he allegedly collided into the van. The elderly man fell off the bicycle and the van ran over him. Raimundo has been served with a notice of intended prosecution. An hour and a half later, there was another road traffic accident, this time up north on the Philip Goshen Highway in Corozal. Ezekiel Bermudez was riding his bicycle between miles 75 and 76 on the highway when he was knocked down by a car driven by police constable Lozaro Catch. The impact sent Bermudez to the pavement. An SUV driven by Juan Vivas that was traveling from the opposite direction ran over Bermudez's body and dragged him for about 30 feet on the pavement along with his bicycle. Bermudez was rushed to the Corozal Community Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Notices of intended prosecution were served to both drivers and police investigations continue. A delegation from Belize will be attending the Climate Change Conference of Parties, or COP26, in Glasgow, Scotland, that begins this weekend. The Prime Minister, John Briceño, will be attending the World Leaders Summit to deliver a statement on behalf of the Belizean people. He will highlight the impact of climate change on our country and the need for increased financing for small island developing states for adaptation measures. According to the PM's office, the Belize delegation will be meeting with the heads of state of Norway, Finland, Canada, Switzerland, and the Dominican Republic, and hold discussions with key agencies such as Green Climate Fund, the United Nations Environment Program, and the Adaptation Fund. Other government officials heading to Glasgow include Eamon Courtney, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Immigration; Christopher Koyi, Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance, Investment and Economic Development; Magali Marin Young, Attorney General; and Ambassador Stuart Leslie, Cabinet Secretary and Chief of Staff. Orlando Habet, Minister of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Management, will lead the remainder of Belize's delegation through high-level political negotiations from November 3rd to 13. Belize's participation in COP26 is being funded by the United Nations Development Program, the REDD+ Project, the Biodiversity Finance Initiative, the Government of the Republic of China Taiwan, the Protected Areas Conservation Trust, and the Engender Project. News 5's Wayne Moody leaves for Scotland this weekend and will be providing our viewers with updates and interviews from this crucial climate change conference. While the Office of the Prime Minister has issued its statement on the delegation heading to COP26 and the funding agencies involved, today the Public Service Union expressed its disapproval over the size of the delegation and wants cost details. The PSU says that, given the current economic crisis and austerity measures, they are appalled that the Prime Minister is taking such a large delegation and recommending that all support staff attend virtually instead. They want GOB to publish the total costs incurred, inclusive of airfare, hotel accommodations, and per diem. They also demand a breakdown of the total funding by the United Nations Development Program, the REDD+ Project, the Biodiversity Finance Initiative, the Government of the Republic of China Taiwan, the Protected Areas Conservation Trust, and the Engender Project. While the number of new infections in the Belize district is now on the decline, the Central Health Region has now started to see an increase in the number of fake vaccination cards being presented and circulated. Dr. Musa revealed that several surfaced over the past few weeks and were detected when health officials cross-checked the information in their system.
We have continued to get reports, and employers and certain persons would send in cards for us to validate or to verify. And we do have a process in place where if a card is picked up and we cannot verify it, we have a reporting system in place, so it's then investigated. So yes, there are certain circumstances where cards are being distributed and the person was not truly immunized or vaccinated.
Is that a big problem? Do you find a lot of those instances?
Over the last few months, I think that the numbers had gone up a little bit. But recently, we have put even stronger measures in place to ensure that this does not occur. So it is something that we now, over the last week, we know that the cards that are given and the information that is given, the person is right there in front of us. We vaccinate and then we enter into the system immediately. So that will really help to reduce it. It will cause a slightly slower process. So we're asking everybody out there to have patience with us. The lines aren't long. It's going very smoothly, but it will take a little longer.
And how do you deal with those cases when you come across them, that somebody presents a fake card? Do you involve the police at that stage?
Yes, we would usually report it to the Ministry of Health at the national level, and then they would take it from there. Sometimes the police is involved.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness has also begun to replace lost or damaged vaccination cards for people who have received their COVID vaccination. Those who show up to the vaccination points and request re-replacement vaccination cards will be given new ones, but are urged to take care of them.
And we do realize that, damage can occur and people may lose their cards. When it comes to replacement cards, and this is for the Belize district only, because each region will have a slightly different process of what they're doing, depending on how they're getting their data and where the vaccination sites, what the process is in place there. But for us at this point, we have about 2 or 3 different checks that we will have to do in order to issue a card. And a recommendation that we could, if I may say, take a picture of the card and have it on your phone. Many of us have our devices with us at all times. If you have the picture on it, at least that is proof. We can verify the signature of the nurse. We can verify the number of the vaccine, and it makes it easier for us to then go into our system. We have 2 electronic systems that we are looking at, that we utilize. We have a form, and we also have the BHIS system. So we go and we check these 2 systems, and a third system is in place where we're writing each name and the serial number for the cards to make sure that they match. So there are many processes or layers of protection that we're trying to put in place at this point in the Belize district to ensure, one, that falsified cards are not being distributed, and to ensure that when we do give a replacement card, the replacement card is a genuine card and that that person has been vaccinated. You can say that these cards are similar to, for instance, your passport that you use to travel. We always put our passport in a secure place. We know that we may need it in any emergency, and we know the complications and the things that we've got to go through to get a replacement, the complicated process that, you've got to go through to get a replacement passport. So it's the same thing that we want to let the public know. These cards are very important for you to get access to many places. It's also important for travel as well, like the passport is. So please take care of your cards. Please ensure that you put it in a safe place and you know where to get your cards afterwards.
After the break, senators speak out on the abolition of the DHS post. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
According to the World Health Organization, cancer is the second leading cause of death globally, or 1 in 6 deaths in the past years. Are you aware that breast cancer occupies the first place of incidence as well as the highest mortality rate? As it relates to Belize, it is approximated that 49.9% of cancer patients suffer from breast cancer, and 12.3% will die from this disease. Breast cancer can be treated when detected early. We encourage self-examination, but also plan your clinical breast exam with your doctor or at any hospital or clinic providing this service.
The WHO states that prostate cancer is the 4th most common cancer overall and the 2nd most common cancer in men. Prostate cancer deaths in Belize reach 42, or 2.3% of total deaths. This cancer can be asymptomatic at the early stages and requires early active surveillance. All men over 40 should start getting a prostate test and a prostate cancer screening.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness and the government of Belize have designated October as Cancer Awareness Month.
This disease is hurting our families and communities.
We need to join hands and raise our voices for hope for all the fighters, peace for all the survivors, and prayers for the fallen.
And comfort for the families and friends of people diagnosed with cancer.
This will sensitize our Belizean people to recognize the importance of a healthy lifestyle, early screening, and detection.
As a country, we are stronger than cancer.
Have you ever wondered how to tell if someone is marriage material? Do you ever wish there was more to your marriage? Maybe you've asked yourself, how do I raise my kids the way God wants me to? Join us for our new series, Mixtape. We'll play through how God wants us to love the people in our lives one track at a time. Get ready to crank up the volume and tune in for advice God gives us in the areas that matter most.
With the touch of a finger, we can easily unlock our phones and securely gain access to our data. This technology is called biometrics, and the Social Security Board is introducing fingerprint recognition to make transactions and handling of your sensitive data secure, fast, accurate, and convenient. Is your identity safe? Fingerprint recognition will keep your Social Security record secure and confidential while making your access fast and easy. It protects your identity. Is your name a common one? Fingerprint recognition uses your unique characteristics, ensuring your hard-earned benefits go directly to you, the rightful owner. Tired of all the paperwork? Fingerprinting makes this hassle-free. Your convenience and your information security is our priority. Fingerprint recognition coming soon. Social Security at your fingertips.
We have been a partner with Smart for over 10 plus years. We have a full Smart plan we use as our major driver for our business. We have a service that rolls over in that if you call one and it is busy, it rolls over to the next line. So once you call us, you can get us at any time. Before we got this Smart service, we were paying upwards of nearly $2,000 in phone bills. Since we've had our Smart service, we pay an average about $600. So we've had tremendous saving, more than 50%. For the businesses, if you want to save money, switch to Smart because it is far more cost effective and the service is excellent.
Smart continues to be innovative in bringing new technology and meaningful savings during these challenging times to businesses across Belize. Sign up for our VoIP technology or broadband packages and save more.
To decrease your risk of being bitten by infected mosquitoes, use proven personal protective methods too. Apply an effective mosquito repellent to exposed areas of skin according to manufacturer's instructions. Wear light-colored long pants and shirts while outdoors in the early morning and late afternoons. Further, protect vulnerable family members like pregnant women, children, the elderly, and persons who are unwell by using mosquito nets to sleep or rest, even during the day. Fight the bite and protect yourself and your family too from mosquito-borne diseases.
On Tuesday, the Briceño administration introduced a motion via a proposed legislation to effectively do away with the Office of the Director of Health Services. This would be achieved by bifurcating the role of the DHS. Two new senior positions would instead be created, including the offices of the Director of Hospital Services and the Principal Health Inspector. All this by the political directorate at the Ministry of Health and Wellness to remove Dr. Marvin Manzanero from his substantive post as Director of Health Services. The move is viewed as a personal attack against Dr. Manza, who was instrumental in 2020 at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. While it was tabled in the House of Representatives earlier this week, on Thursday, the bill was read before the Senate. The leader of government business, Senator Eamon Courtney, presented the bill, which was met with opposition by the United Democratic Party.
We all know what this is. You don't have a good reason to dismiss or fire the Director of Health Services You can't justify removing him. You can't justify your accusations against him. So what do? Since you can't eliminate him, you find a way to eliminate his post. And then you eliminate him. If this government did not want to work with Dr. Manzanero, then he'd only tell him and sit down with him and have enough respect to say, Dr. Manza, we don't want you in that post anymore. We have our own person that we want to put there. And you had the clumsy situation with Dr. Diaz when she went there and it was unstable. So two good doctors you put in uncomfortable positions, people who are professionals, people who will have nothing to do with any political wrangling. So you pass these legislations to get rid of the posts, but then there are certain situations now that you have to explain. You're going to have two people in charge of what one person was doing. Now you have a director of hospital and there's a principal inspector, health inspector, two people. Our question is, who will be these two people? Where will they come from? Will they be qualified to hold those posts? Will they be promoted from within the ranks to hold those posts? Where will they come from? And not only that, Senator, you're cutting people's pay, raise gas price, and you're looking to increase your wage bill. Now you have two senior posts, now you're going to increase your cost to your wage bill. We have to expect another supplemental appropriation bill just for the Ministry of Health again to pay for these two posts.
Also opposing the motion by raising the concern that the proposed legislation seeks to circumvent the Public Service Commission was NTUCB President Luke Martinez, who sat in place of Senator Elena Smith at Thursday's Senate meeting. While the bill to include a union member on the board of the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital Authority is fully supported, the National Trade Union Congress of Belize is against the removal of Dr. Manzanero in that manner.
What is happening here is not public sector reform. It's moving towards a continuous decay of the public sector, Madam President. Of course, the National Trade Union Congress is not going to throw away the baby along with the bathwater. And we cannot support most of these bills, but we can certainly support the amendment to the KHMH and the KHMH Hospital Authority bill, which includes the representation of a union member. But Madam President, we cannot support the rest of legislation, Madam President. The President of Public Service Union made some very strong points in his presentation on Open Your Eyes earlier this week, Madam President. If you are going to, if the government is having an issue with a public officer, we have the public service regulations. Take it there. Don't bring it to Parliament to amend a whole series of legislation, Madam President. We've heard the arguments about signature, and I think that has been a continuous argument. There are two deputies Director of Health Service, Madam President. If signature is a problem, that could be resolved.
13th Senator Osmani Salas, who also spoke against the bill, agrees that the manner in which government is seeking to abolish the role of the DHS is questionable and that the lack of leadership in the public health sector is cause for concern amid the pandemic.
I think that any fair-minded person will agree that this whole situation with the DHS and this slew of legislation has been horribly mishandled. I think any fair-minded person will agree. Look, I also have to say, and in consultation with experts in the health field, senior nurses, retired doctors, and others, because I have reached out to several people. There are major problems with leadership issues in the health sector. I have spoken to some good friends of mine that work at NRD, Northern Regional Hospital, and they are very concerned about the lack of leadership. They are very concerned that things could fall apart very easily. Now, I think we will all agree that the Director of Health Services position is a has been a heavyweight position. I did not realize how heavyweight it has been, or top heavy, with all these responsibilities under one person. And if this had been handled differently, we could have had a sober discussion about what we need to improve the situation. Now, I have to agree with my colleagues who have spoken before me that, we can't take this any other way but to see this as an attempt to legally remove the current DHS and, in effect, bypassing the constitutionally appointed role of the Public Services Commission.
When Dr. Manzanero caught COVID, Dr. Melissa Diaz-Musa was brought in as acting DHS during his extended sick leave. Many people felt Dr. Musa performed remarkably well in the post of acting DHS in reducing the number of new COVID infections within a short space of time. So we asked her today whether she was interested in any of the two new posts that have been created. This was how she responded.
I believe that it will be advertised, and I don't know if I am being considered for any of those. I live in the Belize district, and I think that I can still do significant work here in the Belize district. So as far as I'm concerned at this point, I don't think that it's something that they would say you are going to take that position. I think it's something that more than likely would be advertised, but I haven't heard any update from the Ministry of Health at the national level with regards to the two posts as yet.
Have you any interest in any of them?
Well, I've always practiced in primary care, and that's the area that I'm trained in. And, I think that would be something that I could help to develop. But there are other areas that I can also work and continue to work, like where I'm at this point, and improve primary care in the Belize district as well. So it's something that I haven't really sat down to give a long, to think about for a long period of time. But because we're busy, it's constant every day, and we're trying to work to reduce these high numbers and to get our vaccination up and to improve primary care to get persons back into getting screening for cancers and screening for hypertension and diabetes. We're trying to push the nutrition aspect. So I've been focused with the team here at Central Health Region, mainly with doing a lot of that. So it's not something that I have been really thinking about and elaborate about a lot.
Just ahead, there's more news after the break, so stay with us.
Improving lives, delivering quality. Water for you and me. In Belize, BWS, we make it happen.
For the immediate future, our entire country's focus is to ensure that each of us take adequate measures to mitigate against the COVID-19 pandemic. We all need to ensure frequent hand washing or sanitizing, regular disinfection of surfaces, constant social distancing, and a sufficient supply of sanitizing and cleansing material. At this critical time, a reliable supply of clean potable water is of utmost importance to ensure our health and peace of mind. Water is therefore a vital necessity to help us remain free from illness and ultimately to help Belize's economic recovery. Help us to help you by paying your water bill. Our return to a healthy and vibrant economy depends on you.
Belize Water Services, delivering water and more.
Despite our best efforts, we often let our guards down. Reaching in for hugs and unavoidable encounters expose us to COVID-19, and not knowing our status can be scary. Quality rapid antigen tests, such as SD Biosensor, have provided a quick way to find out our COVID-19 status. And now, with the introduction of the FDA-approved Accula Rapid PCR test, finding out your COVID-19 status using PCR is also quick and easy. The Accula Rapid PCR test delivers results in just 30 minutes to identify patients who are COVID-19 positive. The Accula Rapid PCR test will further strengthen Belize's testing capabilities and benefit Belizeans as we attempt to resume doing the things we love and enjoy. Through quality, reliable tools like the SD Biosensor antigen test, the Accula Rapid PCR test, heroic frontline workers, and responsible government and citizenry, we will beat COVID-19.
Es un hecho. Únicamente con Smart obtienes todo realmente ilimitado. Solo con Smart obtienes datos ilimitados en cualquier momento. Mientras que con el otro proveedor solo son datos dobles los fines de semana. Con datos ilimitados todos los días no hay necesidad de esperar, así que es un hecho que nuestros planes ilimitados superan a la competencia. Por lo tanto, no permita que le digan cómo y cuándo usar sus datos. Y obtenga llamadas, mensajes de texto y datos ilimitados. Vive la verdadera experiencia de planes ilimitados con Smart. Es un hecho. Haga el cambio y viva Smart.
Why should we get a COVID-19 vaccine? First, to protect our health. Vaccines are safe and effective at preventing severe disease and death from COVID-19. Also, the impact of vaccines on the transmission of the virus is being studied. Meanwhile, we already have powerful reasons to get vaccinated for our own good and for the good of others. Second, we should get vaccinated for our community's health. Our health systems are overwhelmed treating COVID-19 cases. By getting vaccinated, fewer of us will need medical care or hospitalizations from this disease. This promotes the health of our communities by allowing other healthcare issues that are being postponed to be addressed, such as care for chronic diseases. Third, we should get vaccinated for our community's well-being. COVID-19 has also caused poverty and unemployment and has generated an economic and social crisis. Vaccines will allow us to reactivate our economies gradually and to go back to the social interactions that we miss so much. The more people are vaccinated, the sooner we will be able to safely carry out the activities we had to drastically limit and that are key to the well-being of our communities. Some achievements will only be possible if we all cooperate. Health emergencies test our ability to help one another and act for the health and well-being of our communities. We all have the moral duty to get vaccinated against COVID-19 as soon as it is available to us and to follow public health measures to end the pandemic soon. The fight against COVID-19 depends on everyone.
There is hope in the north that the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association and the Belize Sugar Industries will settle their impasse by the end of November. A release from the association noted that both parties met on Wednesday at the ASR-BSI conference room to present their proposals for amendments to the current commercial agreements. The release says there were some notable proposals made by the association coming out of that discussion. One is a change to the income distribution formula from 65% to cane farmers and 30% to BSI of the net stripped value to a ratio of 60% and 40% respectively from the gross proceeds. The association also proposed a change in the method of payment of the cane price from a payment of 3 installments to a payment of 2 installments, including a first payment of 80%. The association further proposed payment of $5 per ton of cane for bagasse as well, that the term and duration of the commercial agreement be for a period of 3 years. On the other hand, BSI proposed that an extension of the term and duration of the commercial agreement for another 7 years, the inclusion of terminal handling charge, and the inclusion of a throughput fee. The release says the meeting was cordial and positive. Both parties are expected to submit rationales for their proposals by next week, Wednesday. In an effort to boost Belizean farmers, GOB is inviting smallholder farmers to apply for grants under a new agreement, the International Fund for Agricultural Development and Green Climate Fund. According to the Ministry of Economic Development, the programs support investments in cultivation of market-driven priority products, vegetables, cabbage, carrots, hot pepper, onion, sweet pepper and tomato, fruit, pineapple, and honey. The MGF fund will not be financing the producer organizations in the form of cash, but will be in investments through submissions of business plans. The maximum grant is $240,000 for registered groups of more than 17 members and $60,000 for 10 or more members for non-registered groups. The application form is available at the Ministry of Agriculture office in each district. The program aims to build resilience of smallholder farmers to climate change by adopting climate-resilient practices, increase and diversify production, and facilitate access to commercial markets for surplus production. 200 electronic devices for underprivileged students on the south side of Belize City. That's the objective of Drive-In Belize and the Diaspora. The items will be distributed on the 20th of December and on Christmas Eve, respectively. Founder of the Aspire for Greatness Foundation, Orson Pickart, and Farron Smith of True Belizean Foundation shared more additional details.
Back in August and September, when we were doing our backpack drive, the Aspire for Greatness Foundation realized that we had to reach out to as much children as possible in the marginalized communities that we come from. And in doing that, there was a gentleman who donated to us 2 Toshiba laptops and 10 tablets. And in trying to identify students who would be in most needs of those devices, that's when we found out that there is a dire need for devices in marginalized communities where we come from. And so we decided, as an organization, to put together a Christmas tablet and toy drive. And so we did a soft launch last week, and now today is the official hard launch of the actual initiative itself. And so we are seeking to acquire 200 tablets that can use Microsoft Meet or Google Classroom, and those tablets will be distributed to students from various high schools.
True Belizean is doing a Secret Santa drive this year, and that is to encourage people to give back to their high schools in Belize. We're asking for donations from people, the Belizeans here in the diaspora that support True Belizean and that would like to be a part of this initiative. We're asking for individuals and we're asking for organizations that would like to be a part of it to donate back for Christmas.
Up next, after the break, a Haitian gang is controlling fuel at the ports. Find out what they want in exchange for releasing it.
Why should you wear your mask? To protect myself. My friends. My family and others. I wear my mask because I love my grandparents. With so many reasons to wear a mask, we continue to advise persons to wear a face mask properly, covering both nose and mouth. Together, we can keep Belize COVID-19 safe.
When something is good and you can save, that makes it even better. Like this guy, he buys Flex bundles using his promo credit. No worries when his primary credit is finished. He gets talk, text, and data for free. Or her, she calls her family internationally with her promo credit. And with data packages so affordable, she even does video calls. Smart continues to offer great deals and affordable promotions. As a small business owner, she saves when she uses her promo credit to call the other guys. All Smart customers enjoy more triple days and knowing they can use their promo credit, which just lasts longer. Smart, bringing people together.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
In regional news, a Haitian gang has blocked entrances to fuel ports and is calling for the resignation of that country's prime minister. Some businesses have closed because transportation is being cut off and diesel generators are facing the possibility of shutting down. Leader of the G9 coalition of gangs in Port-au-Prince, Jimmy Cherizier, said he would ensure the safe passage of fuel trucks if the PM leaves office. Here's more from our partners at Caribbean Week in Review.
One of Haiti's most powerful gang leaders has demanded that Prime Minister Ariel Henry resign in exchange for allowing the country to access fuel resources. Gangs have blocked the entrance to ports that hold fuel stores, and the fuel shortages have left Haitians with few transportation options and have forced the closure of some businesses. Hospitals, which rely on diesel generators to ensure electricity due to constant blackouts, may shut down as well. A leader of the so-called G9 coalition of gangs in the capital Port-au-Prince, Jimmy Cherizier, said in a radio interview that he would ensure the safe passage of fuel trucks if Prime Minister Henry left office. He said the areas under the control of the G9 are blocked for one reason only, to get Henry to step down. Cherizier said the Prime Minister should answer questions linking him to the murder of President Jovenel Moïse. Henry has denied any involvement in the July 7th assassination.
Oceania Belize held its second virtual annual general meeting on Thursday night. Vice President Janelle Chanona highlighted several of the organization's accomplishments, including the use of technology, the ban on gill nets, and increased monitoring out at sea. But the highlight of the AGM was undoubtedly the recognition of this year's wave makers, those individuals and groups making a change in the communities and marine environment. Here are the winners.
Thank you, Oceania Belize, in recognizing that Riga BCA youth arm in keeping the ocean clean.
I'm Natalia Marin, and I'd like to thank you guys for the recognition. I'd like to thank the members of Oceana for joining me in my venture in making the environment a better place. I'd like to thank the community for joining and supporting in any way they can, and I'd like to thank Ryan for nominating me. Together we can make a change.
First of all, I want to say thanks to Almighty God for allowing us to receive such prestigious award. Thank you to the students of the Nazarene High School Environmental Club and their parents who have supported us along the way. Last but not least, thank you to Dr. Elisa Seguro, our principal, who has supported us in all of our club activities.
We are Eco Hearts, a young environmental youth group dedicated to engaging the public in fun, interactive activities that strongly promote environmental sustainability within our Orange Walk Town community.
To be considered the Kaya Wavemaker Award 2021 is such a privilege and honor. We thank you, Oceana, on behalf of the Interact Club of Sacred Heart College.
I'd like to say thank you to Josh for getting me involved with Oceana. And I love what I do with Oceana and also Rotaract for cleaning up the beaches and helping the ocean in any way that I can.
Hello everyone, I'm Monique Brennan and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be nominated as Oceana's 2021 National Wavemaker. I'm grateful for this opportunity and I hope it inspires young boys and girls to challenge themselves to make waves of change.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.